What's going on, family? Listen, I'm excited about another episode of Unscripted. I want you to get ready. This is your boy, Derek L. McRae, coming to you. We're going to talk today about some interesting topics. We're going to make sure we enrich you. We're going to entertain you. We're going to empower you. So get everybody you know, call them and tell them jump in real quick because we're getting ready to turn this thing up. It's going to be unscripted. What's going on, good people? Listen, this is the day the Lord have made. That sounds real churchy, man. I don't think I want to be that churchy today. What's going on, everybody? It's unscripted time again. It's another Friday. We're here. Exciting times. Let me go ahead and clear the way. Let me put it out there for the public. Let me satisfy all of you miserable sports fans that hate the Dallas Cowboys. We lost. It was not a good game. We sucked. Our coaches are horrible, and I'm still a fan. Yep. So we're going to make a few minor adjustments, and we're going to come back next year. We're going to be ready to play again. But what I really fascinated about is the fact that no matter what's going on with us, y'all always talking about us. We're the only team that matters. Because whether you like us or you hate us, you're still talking about us. Because a lot of teams lost. Ain't nobody talking about the Eagles today. Ain't nobody talking about some of the other teams like that lost this weekend. Ain't nobody talking about them Steelers that lost. But everybody is talking about the Cowboys. Why? Because you all proved it once again. We are America's team. But let's dive into this discussion today because we got a lot to talk about, a little time to talk about it. And I really want to jump into talking about bold business this year. Bold business, man. Like, this is the top of the year. A lot of good things are taking place, and people are trying to make necessary adjustments to make sure they're in the right place. I remember years ago, I started this company. When I started this company, it's called Experience Promotions. It's my promotional company that I have. And I remember jumping out there, man, I was excited. And part of the reasons why I was so excited about starting this company is because I was a professional musician for a little while. So I played drums professionally and got real involved in the industry, and it became fascinating to me to learn the backstory of things. So I was used to being on stage and playing the drums, but I didn't know the backstories to how the concert came into being of creation. And so I started getting really excited about this, started out this business. And I remember the first concert that I ever did, man, I invited these artists in, great artists, but I fumbled on this real bad because I became the victim of bringing what I liked and not what the community was looking for. So here I am with a big venue with these top name artists who may be good, but just not good in Orlando. I brought them in and had this concert, and my attendance struggled pretty bad. The lesson that I learned was, first of all, you're broke when you make decisions based upon what you want. And the second thing I learned is you always, when you're doing business, find what the market is asking for, not what the person who's managing is liking. Find what the market's asking for. So I lost a lot of money doing that event, but I learned a good lesson. And today I want to talk to you all a little bit more about bold business, making courageous and calculated moves for your businesses and for your careers. I want to help talk to you about this so that you don't make the same mistakes that I made when I was starting out in my company. Because what I have learned is when you begin to listen to other individuals, it can really help you not repeat the same mistakes. That's one of the odds that I have with the younger generation today is there seems to be such an arrogance in conversations at times that we don't want to listen to anybody else because maybe they didn't do it to the magnitude of the vision or the dream you had for it. You got to be careful of that because just because they didn't pull it off to the level that you saw it does not mean that they don't have valuable information to talk to you about so that you won't repeat the same mistakes. So if you got a listening ear, let those that have an ear, let them hear what thus saith me, because I'm struggling still. This ain't church. This really is my podcast. So for those who got an ear, lend it today. Let's dive in and talk about this topic, talking about bold business. So, okay, here we go. Let's jump in. I want to talk to you about making courageous and calculated moves in your career and your business ventures. Here it is. It's possible. It's really possible to be courageous and calculated. and not stupid at the same time. That sounds real harsh. It's possible to be really courageous. It's possible to be courageous. It's possible to be courageous and not be stupid. A lot of times we take courage. We take this courageous activity. We take this strong sense of ambition and we put it in positions that is just wrong. I want to say to you that your courage still needs to be calculated. That's the first point. Your courage, it still needs to be calculated. It's not enough for you to have a feeling in your stomach. It's not enough for you to have this momentum, you to have this bright idea. You really got to make sure that what you're thinking about, what you're dreaming about, what you're envisioning also makes sense. Yeah, let's be honest with you. You're not getting in business for a feeling. You're getting in business for a profit. And let me bring that back, because everybody who's in business, you're in business for a profit. You're not in business just to say that you're doing something. You're in business to take care of things and to gain increase. This is the reason why I'm so against. A lot of times we look at African American businesses and we make them struggle down to a level that is comfortable for us to spend towards, which don't give them an ability to actually advance in. And so I'm saying to all the credible black businesses, meaning that you got your license together, meaning that you've done the correct filings, you got your insurance policies together for your company, man, stop letting people nickel and dime you. Find out what your market is requesting and bump the fact that your skin color is darker than the other people on the other side of the street. You got to still take into consideration, if I am worth it, I'm going to charge you for it. Because I also found that sometimes discounted rates make people feel like it's a discounted product. People tend to feel like what they pay for is what they get. And so we got to be careful in dumbing ourselves down. Or is it the fact that we really don't have confidence in our very own product and we're saying that you shouldn't have confidence in us either? Because a lot of people are jumping out and making courageous moves, but it's not calculated. What you mean by this word calculated? Meaning that let's add this up. What kind of investment did you really put into this process? What did you really think about? What like when you talk about calculated, how well did you study the product? Because all these things go into the outcome of what you're trying to pull off. I'm gonna say that again. Your price that you come up with is not something off the top of your head. It's really it's a result of your research time. It's a result of your actual sweat equity that you got to put into it. It's a result of also what the market is saying. This is how we should learn how to price ourselves, because a lot of us, let's be honest, we are price gouging because some of us are not as good as our price. Now that's a whole different discussion. Yeah, I want you to be out there getting the right price, but make sure you're worth what you say you're worth. And you can't be worth it if you ain't done it yet. Somebody got to find out first. If you look at most major chains, when they're trying to introduce something, they usually introduce it off of two places. They introduce it at a very low rate because they're trying to introduce it to the nations, or either they have such a trusted brand that no matter what they put out, they know is going to sell. The question is, when you're starting out yourself, as you're walking in this courage, are you really calculated? Have you really looked into what is the risk assessments with not only a person joining in with me, but what's the risk assessment with me actually jumping out here and doing what I'm doing? Because here's another truth. A lot of entrepreneurs don't like to hear this, that whenever you are starting a business, you first have to be the first individual that's willing to invest in your own product. Don't ask me to spend no money that you can't spend money on yourself. Meaning, like if you got a product line, and that's something that's kind of happening a lot of people starting to do product lines. If you got a product line, make sure that you have put money for real into your product line. Don't just jump out for investors. No, let's back that thing up. Don't just jump out for investors. You got to first look into, did I properly set myself to be invested in? Like first of all, is my credit score to such a degree that I can go into a lending institution and ask for some money? Because it's kind of unfair that you use the leverage of our relationships to gain money off of something I'm not sure that you can really do. And it's obvious that you're not sure of it either if you don't have any capital behind you. Because there are moments that we have a great idea. That's that courage again, this courageous idea. We may have this courageous idea, but the question is, do we really believe in our product? Because when we believe in our product, we do things before the presentation. We got to put certain things in place before the presentation. What do you mean by this? When we really believe in our product, we have to go back. Let's make sure we clean up our credit. so that we can be the first funders of our own individual project that we're working on. Let's make sure that we have set things up that we can succeed. Did we really do the right licensing for what we're trying to get done? Have we networked with anybody else doing what we're doing? These are all things that are necessary. These are calculated moves. Calculated moves with courage become success. But if you just have courage with no calculations, you're destined to fail. You're destined to lose because there's nothing behind your idea outside of that. A theory. A theory. How do you take a theory and put it into a concept? You got to put some instrumental moves in place that allows you to make a theory now a concept. It actually allows you to be successful at something. And so we got to make sure we're making courageous, calculated moves. Here's another thing. Many of us begin to mess up because of the fact that we start overanalyzing things. We start overanalyzing things. So we have these huge dreams, and it's amazing, especially when you're a person of faith. When you're a person of faith, so sometimes you get God drops this in your spirit. Y'all know how we do it in the church. That's the Moshanda. You see that? Y'all don't know about that. That's the Moshanda. The Moshanda is a different level of anointing. Yeah, there's a Moshanda and there's a Mosha. The Mosha and the Moshanda. They both don't mean nothing. It's just entertainment for me to say it in the midst of this conversation. But a lot of us, man, we get the Lord drop this thing into our spirit. When he dropped this thing into our spirit, we go, how about, shit. We go to the altar, we be shaking, we get the quenches, we be quivering, ankles get weak, we fall out, that kind of stuff. We get back up. And voila, we got this new vision from God. And then it happens. We begin to overanalyze what God done said. Here's the truth. One of the things you got to be careful of is sometimes you can overanalyze in such a way that you miss out on opportunity. I'll say that again. You can overanalyze in such a way that sometimes you miss out on opportunity. The other thing that we tend to do with overanalyzing is we tend to overanalyze because we're trying really hard to be safe. But let's be honest, starting businesses and taking advances, growing in careers, none of that stuff is safe, y'all. All that stuff is for the risk takers. Yeah, all that stuff is for the risk takers. And when I think about risk, biblically, I think about the word faith. So risk and faith really is the same thing. So let's read Hebrews 11:1 together. We're using risk versus faith. Now, risk is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So if risk is the evidence hoped for, it means that there's a strong opportunity that I'm not going to succeed at this. It's a strong opportunity. It won't work. If you're going to really be good in business, you got to approach it from the standpoint of it just might not work, but I have a hunch that it will. That's how it's going to work. It just might not work. Truth is that a lot of us are trying to do something that has been played already, which usually means that we're not going to get played. So in the music industry, when you're getting ready to release a song, you're trying to release a single. One of the things they taught me to do when you're releasing a single is you try to listen to the market and talk to other artists to find out what song they're getting ready to release within that quarter, so you don't release the same tempo that they're releasing. So, for instance, if they are releasing a fast song, you go find something that is more slow and ballad related, because you have to be the difference. When we're walking into business, man, external relationships are extremely important because you need to know what's getting ready to play out in your market. You need to find out what is happening in my market. You don't need to get out here like you're the only man that matters or the only woman that matters. You need to be mindful that you're not just getting ready to display something. You're getting ready to get into something. You're getting ready to get into an entire system that works with so many different individuals. And you have to be mindful of this. But you got to make sure that you're not overanalyzing. So how am I calculating but not overanalyzing? Yeah, you do this by 4 ways. I want to give you 4 things for you to really, really take home with you. Maybe you ride right down the car, so just drive them to your next destination. But I got 4 things that you want to do. And so that means I'm not being pastoral. Because if I was being pastoral, I have 3 things for you. I have 3 points. And I'll close. But nope, I'm not being pastoral. I'm just trying to give you 4 things. The 4 things I want you to really ask yourself when you're thinking about walking into doing big business or bold business. The first thing I want you to think about is, what's your thing? What's your thing? What do I mean by what's your thing? I need you to research and evaluate yourself in the process. Because if you're going to be good at something, or you're going to do something good, You got to first make sure you have the capacity to be good in what you think that you have a thought for. You got to have the capacity to be good. Like don't tell me you're getting ready to open up a hospitality company and you nasty and mean. No. You need to reevaluate that. You don't need a hospitality company. You need to go open a dump truck company. Yeah, you need to go and just drive trucks for a living. Put your own little bathroom in the bed of your back of your truck so that you can just pull up to your places yourself. Don't deal with nobody. Just you and your dog, and y'all ride down the street with your CB and just be like, on road again. That's what you need to do. All right. So if you're really trying to be something, make sure you have the capacity to be what you're trying to become. Because a lot of us got great visions, but we don't have the characters to support the visions that we have. We don't have the characters. We don't have the abilities to support those things that we have going on. And so the first thing I need you to make sure of is, what's your thing? What am I good at? So that means that I got to research it. I need to research and I need to evaluate. Now, that evaluate word is the hard part, because a lot of us don't like to be honest with our shortcomings. We don't like to be honest about our weaknesses. We want people to come in our lives and celebrate us and our weaknesses. Like you want people just to become a natural born liar for your life. You want people to lie every time they see you. Oh, girl, that look nice. No, and good and well, your head too big for that hairstyle. You got a lace front and it starts in the middle of your head. That ain't right. You know, you can't even put edges that good to come all the way down the front of your hair. I don't care what kind of edge cream. Okay, I'm off tax. So let me get back. So the first thing we got to do is we got to make sure we research and we evaluate ourselves in the process. Honest evaluations. Come on, say that with me. I am taking honest evaluations of me. Yep. Matter of fact, you're not going to have to expose me to my failures, because I'm going to expose myself to my inabilities. And when I see my inabilities, my failures, my shortcomings, the ignorances of me and what I'm trying to become, I'm going to now put things in place to become better. So the first thing is, what's your thing? The second thing is, who's your circle and who is your market? Who is your circle and who is your market? If you're going to be good in making bold business moves, you got to make sure that you connect with people who see you beyond you as well as see you as you. Not ASS, AS. See you beyond you and see you as you. I had to say that again. AS, not ASS. All right, because some of y'all be thinking Joker be cussing. Ain't nobody cussing. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. So you got to see people that see you as who you are. All right. So surround yourself with people who see beyond you. Okay. A good circle. This is business right now. A good business circle are those who have vision. That's a business circle. Not those who have visibility, but those who have vision. You ought to surround yourself with people who are used to having bigger ideas and looking at things on broader scopes. You ought to surround yourself with those kind of people. You don't need closed-minded people when you're dealing with business. Matter of fact, sometimes you need to stop telling your business to people with closed minds, because what tends to happen is they will shrink you down to their level of comfort versus expanding you to your level of potential. Ooh, now that was good. Let me give a clap to that one. They will literally shrink you down to their level of comfort versus promoting you to your level of potential. And a lot of us are surrounding ourselves with people who cannot tolerate your growth. So you got to really begin to look at who's your circle, because your circle is going to count. Matter of fact, I feel like a preacher right now. Turn to your neighbor real quick and say, neighbor, who is your circle? Yeah, you got to make sure you got the right people around you, the right people connecting with you, people that can tell you this ain't good. People that can tell you you're thinking too small. People that can tell you you're not quite equipped for this yet. Not people that's going to tell you no, but people that's going to help you see a different way. So the first thing is, what is your thing? The second thing is, who is your circle and who is your market? Discover who's doing what you're doing. Yeah. Because you don't want to saturate markets. All right. Some of us don't need to start a company. We need to join a company. We need to join it with somebody else who's already doing and maximize ourselves from financial standpoints. All right. So you bring a certain leverage to the company, and because of that, make them pay you for your additional leverage, because some markets are saturated. Number 3, here it is. What's your why? Meaning, why are you doing this? What makes you passionate about what you're doing? Because in order for you to be effective in big business, you got to have a passion. All right. Stop getting up and doing things that you're not passionate about. Like, I don't understand people that are entrepreneurs that go and start companies that they don't like. Like you didn't like it when you was working at the last company. Why are you going to start your own and still not have a good time? At least have a passion for what you do. And I really recommend every person in life, no matter what you're doing in life. If you are a CEO, if you are a marketing director, if you are a cashier at Winn-Dixie, that was my first job, y'all. If you are a cashier at Winn-Dixie, or if you wash cars at Octopus, I used to be a car washer too, y'all. That was back at Octopus back in the day, back over by the fairgrounds. Yeah, I used to wash cars over there. I only wash cars because I wanted to get in the cars at the end. I was a dryer. And I was a dryer because I wanted to get in them nice cars and drive it. I know it wasn't but about 10 feet that I drove the car out there just to make sure that people could come get it, but I was able to drive the car. But again, find places of your passion, things that you like to do. So what's your why? Because your why is going to drive you. Your why is going to drive you. Your why will create such a passion that the ideas that go along with what it takes to be successful in what you do, your why will gather those ideas where they would come so freely to you that it'll be natural. People be saying like, golly, how you do that? And you'll be like, hey, it's natural. It's just what I do because it comes to you. Listen, when you are effective in business, you think and you see things when you don't think and see things. It naturally comes to you when you are literally effective in business. So make sure, again, that you know your why. Here's the last piece. The last one is this. You got to know when is the appropriate time, because with all your bright ideas, with all of your ambitions, with your courage and your calculations, with your analyzing over and under, you still rest on one thing: time. When is the appropriate time? Bible says something to everything. There's a season and a time under the heavens. That's Ecclesiastes. Simply saying to us that sometimes you can have the right idea at the wrong time and it don't work. Sometimes you can have all the tools in place, but it's not the time of the release and it does not work. Man, as good as apples are, they don't grow all year long. There's a season for them. Those Florida oranges, there's a season for them. They don't grow all year long. Even though they may have seed and ground, it does not mean they have harvest. And I need you to catch that, because a lot of us are frustrated, not because your idea is not good. You're frustrated because you're in the wrong season. Maybe it's time to still wait. One of the things that I kind of attribute to my growth is the fact that I don't jump out fast on stuff. I really massage things quite a bit, and I really seek for the season. A lot of my friends and colleagues consider me to be the late bloomer all the time because of the fact that they say that you should have been doing this. And I had to tell them, man, you don't get an opportunity to tell me my timing. My timing is when I felt the release of God for me to jump out and do what I do. And here is the key. And here's the proof to the pudding, even though I don't like pudding, but it always sounds like, I guess, a good phrase. The key for me is I may not start when you start, but I tend to run where you run. You catch that later on. I don't have to start when you start. This ain't no competitive race. I ain't trying to compete with you. I'm trying to make my own business. I'm trying to make my own dollars. I'm trying to secure my own bag. And as I'm trying to do those things, I don't have to be in competition with you. So when I'm in my right season, here it is. When you're in the right season, everything is effortless when you're in the right season. When you're in the right season and you've done preparations, it's not hard for you to come up with things. Timing for you, my dear, is everything. Make sure that you got a prayer life. Make sure that you got people that you surround you. Make sure you know your why. Make sure you know your what, but make sure you know your time, because your timing will sink or allow your vision to swim. Because I know it's in you. You can be successful. You can do anything you put your mind to, but don't rush your system. Don't overanalyze it. Don't just be courageous. You got to also be calculated. When we put all these things together, we're talking about real good, big business. This year, I'm looking for a big business venture from you. I'm looking for you to do some great things. I really believe this is a year for us to be, the year to become, the year to believe, the year to belong. We belong in the winner's circle. This is our year. Great things are coming our way this year. I promise you. But you got to put certain things in place. Can I give you a few things to take away with you today? The first thing I need you to take away is this. Hey, let me find my right circle. I need to find my right circle. Okay? So let me find the right circle. But before I find the right circle, here's the other thing I need you to do. Make sure you know what you're called to do. All right? Let's not be copycats. Okay? Nobody, matter of fact, anything that is a remake is never as valuable as the original. And we got too many people trying to be copycats. Too many people who want to be clones. No, I want you to be an original. So spend some time finding out what is your what, like who I am, what I'm supposed to do. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to find that right circle now. Find those people that's going to be critical, but also going to be loving and honest with you. That's going to help you advance. Number 3, I need you to be so committed and convinced of your why. This week, search for your why. Why am I doing this? Why is this necessary? What happens if I don't do it? Those are 3 good questions to ask when you're considering your placement of business. Number 4, pray this week. And I want you to ask God, when? Something that simple. When? And be open for God to say, not now. Like, don't talk to God already with your end in mind. Talk to God and say, this is what I'm working on. Tell me when. So that's what I got for you this week. Got a little homework to go do this week as well, for us to go out, make sure we're doing some big things, making some bold business steps. Listen to me, y'all. I'm here. I'm available. I want to talk with you. Make sure you're chatting with us in that line as well, so that we can definitely make sure we're connecting and doing some great things, because I really am committed to helping people to prosper, to be in good health, even as their soul shall prosper. But I can't get out of here without highlighting somebody, because you know us, we like to highlight people. And I got somebody who I think is so worthy of highlighting. Her name is Sandra Fatme. Sandra Fatme Hall. Man, this young lady is running for Orange County Commissioner District 2. I was reading some of her stuff. Sandra is phenomenal. She's done some great things. Sandra is deeply committed to the community, and she's demonstrated this through the increase of graduation rates. She went into Pine Hills, y'all, and she's been helping kids graduate and go to college. And she's helping them with money as well for scholarships and things that are happening. But I think one of the most genuine things that I saw about Sandra Fatme is, man, she has literally provided food for over 1 million individuals. 1 million. 1 million people. She's done that. So, y'all, she's running for District 2 right now. When you see Sandra Fatme, tell her, say, Bishop Derek told us, vote for you. All right. I want everybody to make sure you go out and catch Sandra Fatme. She's running for office. Do me a favor. Send homegirl some money too, y'all. Help her out. Help that campaign out. Don't just tell, we voting for you. We want you to vote. But send some dollars. It ain't got to be a lot. You can send $25. You can send $5 to the campaign. Do something to help Sandra Fatme, because I believe she's a proven leader that can help us even greater in our communities. Well, you ain't got to go home, but we got to get off of this because my time is up. Make sure you go to YouTube. Catch us. Hit that bell. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, I don't know the song anymore. Okay. But I want you to go to YouTube. Ding it. Make sure that every Friday, you know we coming. Share this with somebody else. Your friend want to hear me talk. I know they do. Your friend want to hear me talk. So help me share this with your friend. Tell them, say, it's a weird dude that be on this podcast talking, but every once in a while, he says something intelligent. Share it. All right, until next week. I won't be talking about them next week because it's gonna be a while, but I'll be talking to you. So, all right, go for it. Be successful this week because you matter. Love y'all. Take care. Unscripted.